Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Breakfast and Business. It's Friday, it's the end of the week. I hope you've had an absolutely incredible week. As you join us for Breakfast and Business, let us know down in the comments if you are in live or on the replay, and also where you're tuning in from. Now, let me help you to understand how to make the very most of Breakfast and Business and how to get actively involved. We're not just a group of participants here. We're all about how you can get actively involved and how you can help us to help more people. So Breakfast and Business runs Monday through Saturday as an idea or a concept for you. Maybe it's one you've heard before, maybe it's a brand new one that you're going to hear, but you need to put into practice. Everything is actionable, and it's about taking action and moving your business forward. It's not just about hearing something, but putting it into practice. So everything you hear, we want you to do a couple of things with it. One is go and put it into practice and see what results it drives within your business. Everything we're teaching is from a place of experience. It's not just theory, it's things that we know have been battle tested and we know that they work. So whether they're new to you or whether you've heard them before, remember, putting them into practice is fundamentally going to change your business for the better. It's called Breakfast and Business because we come together at 8 a.m. UK time, Monday through Saturday. It's an opportunity for you to come together with a great group of people to have a conversation and maybe to learn something new that's going to push your business in the direction that you want to go. Every week has a common theme. This week's theme is your market. So we're talking about the marketplace that your business sits in. Now, we cover a different topic within that subject area every single day. So there's a whole range of different content already out for this week's Your Market segment, which has been the whole of this week. And we've got one day left to go. But I really want to help you to understand what's involved here, right? So I'm going to share an idea or concept every single day, and there's a few ways to get actively involved to show me that you're participating and show me that you're a part of this community. Now, the first thing you can do is help us to spread the word by hitting share or tagging someone in the comments if the platform allows. We're currently live here on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram over here. So whichever platform you're on, there's a couple of different ways to connect. So obviously you can hit the hearts on Instagram and Periscope over here. On YouTube, you can hit the thumbs up, but Facebook, you've got the thumbs up reactions, the hearts, the laughs, the angry faces, whatever you want to use. If you're following along, I want you to use the platform's specific interaction tool. So get involved and take part as it makes sense, as you follow, as you acknowledge what we're saying, it makes sense, and you're following along just to show me visually. Now, one thing you can do across all the platforms is use red, yellow, or orange emojis down in the comments. They're really visual for me whilst I'm talking to you on camera, and I can see them pop up and it becomes super clear. Now, I want to engage with the people as they come in. So remember that as you join, tell me if you're live or on the replay so that we can say hello, we can get to know one another. I also want to know where you're tuning in from so we know where these broadcasts are reaching around the world. So let me know if you're live or on the replay and where you're tuning in from around the world, and let's get to know one another so I can help you more. This week's Breakfast and Business is all about your market. So we're looking at the marketplace for your business. Now, as we look at this, we need to break things down. If you don't understand what the market is, please do go back and watch Monday's broadcast. We looked at defining the market on Monday. Tuesday was who is your market? Who's the segment of that marketplace that is your specific audience, the people that you want to connect with, the people you want to do business with? That's what we're really looking at now. Now, Wednesday, we looked at reaching your market. Once you know who those people are, you've identified with the market, your segment of the market. How do you go out and reach those people? Because if you're not reaching them, you're obviously doing yourself a disservice by not helping to connect with them. You have to go where they are and do business with them. Otherwise, you're not giving yourself or them a fair opportunity to do business. Now, great to see you all coming in on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. Now, Thursday, we talked about serving your market, really serving your market, not just saying you're serving your market and showing up for them, but I want you to really understand what service is. So Thursday's broadcast covered that in more detail. Now, today we're going to talk about expanding your market. Whether you are a brand new business with no customers, or whether you're an existing business with some customers or a lot of customers, you can always look at expanding your market. So what do we mean by this? Well, expanding your market is different to what we're going to discuss tomorrow, which is diversifying your market. Two very, very different things that you need to understand have very different implications and principles behind them. Today, expanding your market. Really, really important that you understand how to grow your market. We're not just talking about getting in front of people. We're talking about a specific action that you take to grow your business. Now, expanding your market means reaching more people, being seen more. And we've made some decisions within our business and how we want to show up, how we want to be seen, how we're going to help people. And all of those things are focused on how can we help the most people. For those who know me will know my personal motto is that I selfishly want to help everyone. And following that, that whole motto and that message, I'm always about how can I provide even more. So I'm looking at Breakfast and Business 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. We had been doing dinner and digital marketing all the way through August, Tuesdays and Thursday evenings, an opportunity to come and learn digital marketing. So we've been looking at new ways to do things, looking into spaces where we don't currently spend time. We don't currently have a podcast at It's Nomad 9. We know the principles, we know the theory, and we actually teach it and help other people within our business, our clients, our customers, to run and to set up podcasts. However, it's one area that we have had a weakness in up until this point. So keep your eyes out for a podcast coming very soon from It's Nomad. Now, I'm not going to give too much away. You're just going to have to hold tight and wait for that news to come in. So before we kick in properly, I'm going to say hello to a few people. My mum's coming in from the Isle of Wight. No weather report today on the Isle of Wight. Peterborough. Guy Porteous coming in from Peterborough. Good to see you in. Ian Hollingsworth coming in from Hampshire. So a few people coming in over on Instagram, no locations yet. So please do remember to let us know where you're tuning in from. We want to connect with you, get to know you, and understand where we're reaching around the world as well. So today is all about expanding your market. Imagine if you could double, treble, quadruple, 10 times the amount of customers that you had. And it's not that complicated. When you're looking at expanding your market, if you've identified the individuals that make up the group that is your market, and then focused on how they speak, what they're interested in, what they need, the pain points they have, and the solutions that you have that solve those problems, then you're going to find it much easier to show up and serve them. And when you're already serving people, so this first bit is more about people who already have customers. And it doesn't matter if it's 1 customer, 10 customers, 100 customers, 1,000 customers. If you have existing customers and you serve them, that's why service has to be at the highest level, is because everything we're teaching you is cumulative. If you haven't been serving them at the highest level, this next strategy won't work. Expanding your market through active advocacy. So what do I mean by active advocacy? Active advocacy is people who follow you going out and talking about your business, telling other people, being proactive about it. In fact, really good timing to see Eddie Young jumping in from Burton upon Trent, the home of Marmite, coming in this morning as well, because Eddie's doing exactly this for our business. Eddie is out telling people about what we do, how we help people. He shouted the other day when I mentioned about our content creation workshop, he jumped in and was eager to tell people how good that workshop was. Now, why would he do that? Well, we've created an environment where Eddie feels valued, feels nurtured, feels heard, feels appreciated. And that's what we're talking about showing up and serving people. If you want to expand your market through active advocacy of your existing customers, you're going to expand that market much quicker than any other way. Now, there's a statistic I always quote, and I'm always between 2 numbers, so I'm going to really quickly check this one. 13, I was right. So if you had just 1 customer in your business today, and you could ask of that customer them to refer you to 3 people, just 3. And the reason that you do this is you need to be specific when you're asking people to recommend you or refer you to people. So right now, guys, have a little think. Who are the 3 people most likely to enjoy Breakfast and Business? The reason I'm asking you is because we want to spread this message. We want you to help us to reach more people. Once you know who those 3 people are, take your favorite broadcast and send it to them in Messenger. Maybe tag them in the comments or share it to your wall and tag them so that they're aware of Breakfast and Business. If they're not aware of it, they can't come and enjoy it in the same way that you do. Now, in your business, you need to do the same thing with your engaged customers, with the people who are interested and already doing business with you. You can reach out to them and ask them to refer you new business. It is one of the most effective forms of marketing. If you've ever heard me talk about trust equity, this comes into play really powerfully right here. Let me quickly explain trust equity for those of you who have never heard it before, never seen me wearing the t-shirt and explaining it. Then trust equity is a currency. People talk about know, like, and trust. Forget everything else and focus on the trust, right? Because if you can build enough trust, trust is a form of equity. When trust equity is built up, you can either cash it in, so get the sale, get someone to sign up for something, buy something, go to do something, or you can get people to transfer trust equity. So, for example, Eddie has a large amount of trust equity with us, therefore we're ready to help him and support him. But also the other way, there's trust equity the other way around. So Eddie is wanting to share our message, wanting to help other people to come to use us and to work with us and to understand what we have to offer, because we've built a massive amount of trust equity with Eddie Young, who's in on the broadcast today. If you haven't connected with him, please do. He's down there, Eddie Young. Throw up a load of random emojis for me so that you're really visual, so that everyone can find you. A magician who's really connected, really connected. So really understand this trust equity. When you build it, it can be cashed in, it can be exchanged and transferred. So what you're trying to do with your existing customers, when you ask them, here we go, there's Eddie Young, please do go connect with him. You can see the profile picture and the name and everything there. You find him through those load of emojis, so please do go and connect. So trust equity. When you understand that trust equity is like a currency, it can be cashed in, it can be transferred, it can be used in multiple different ways, expanding your market is super simple. If you had one customer today and you asked them to refer you to 3 people, just 3, not a huge number and a very specific number, so they take action. If they referred you to 3 people and each of those referred them to 3 people, then that means you would reach 1.5 million people in just 13 iterations. Yes, that's right. 13 iterations will put you in front of 1 million people. Not everybody will do it, obviously. So from 3 recommendations, only 1 might convert. But if everybody converted in a 3 introduction process and make it part of your process, then you'd be over 1 million people in just 13 iterations of exactly the same. Now, the reason I say make it part of your process is because it's great and it happens occasionally, but if you're not consistently asking people, then you're not giving yourself the best chance to connect to that larger number of people, to reach a wider audience. So if you know people who would be interested in this broadcast, 3 of them. Why? Specific number. Why? Odd numbers perform better online, believe it or not, in posts, in engagement. So 3 people that you could introduce to Breakfast and Business so that they could come and benefit from the same experience that you enjoy Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. UK time. So who are the 3 people? Tag them in the comments. I want you to actively do this. Now, if you're on a platform we can't tag them, please do hit the share button and share it with them in a private message, in WhatsApp, in Messenger, in text message. I don't really care, but get this message in front of them because we want to help as many people as possible. Active advocacy, people taking action to help you to grow your business, only happens if you've served people at the highest level. If you've been showing up for them, if you've been helping them, paying attention, listening to them, acknowledging them and saying, hello, everybody who's coming in over here. Good to see Mark Connor coming in on Instagram. Fantastic to have you in. If you've been showing up for them regularly, if you've been providing value, if you've been listening, if you've been talking to them and communicating well and serving them at the very highest level, which please, if you haven't watched yesterday's broadcast from Breakfast and Business, to really understand what service is. Loads of people say that they serve people, but they don't. They actually show up and they're only interested in making the sale. And even when they've made the sale, they're moving on to the next person. I don't want you to be one of those businesses that falls into that trap. I want you to really push your business forward in the right way. So if you want to expand your market, the easiest way to do it is actually, easiest And the cheapest way to do it is actually active advocacy. People who are already your existing customers, introducing their friends, their connections, their network, their family, their connections, their friends, everybody that they know they can introduce to you. They literally open up a massive number of new customers for you, even if they're not sure if they could be customers. You get access to their network. It's the same way I say, when you engage, when you share, when you tag me, when you use the Breakfast and Business hashtag sharing your content, it means I'm going to find it. It means I'm going to engage. And when I engage, I'm sharing my audience with you by way of a thank you for you sharing our broadcasts. So please do share the broadcast, pass it on to 3 people. Remember, I'm teaching you everything that is the principles of the stuff that I teach is exactly what we're implementing in our business. So we want to encourage you. From one single customer, you could go to 1.5 million customers by 13 iterations of asking for 3 introductions. It would literally smash the 1.5 million person mark if you could convert them all. So obviously the caveat is you've still got to convert them. Even if they're introduced, you've got to keep them, retain them, and also encourage them to do the same thing, which is going to take time because you have to build trust equity with those people. But remember, if someone comes in by a referral or a recommendation, they already have a higher level of trust equity than if somebody found you on their own. So remember that the recommendation and referral has so much more power than just the person who comes in. It also brings a whole weight with that people will have a higher level of trust when they first discover you, because it's been recommended by a friend or endorsed by someone that they know or trust. So remember, know, like, and trust. The know and trust is coming from someone else. They're going to bring that trust over to you, and you get the benefits of not having to take the time to build that trust up. So that's trust equity. Trust equity is a currency. You can cash it in, and you can connect with people, and you can connect with people who will pass trust your way and vice versa. But also they will transfer trust that they have with their audience over to you. It's one of the most effective ways to market. Now, expanding your market in other ways, of course, you can go down the paid advertising route. It's a really fast way and a specific way to target certain people. But I want to cover something here whilst we're talking about paid advertising, because paid advertising is like an accelerant on a fire. Without the fire there in the first place, you can't accelerate it. If you run ads for a business that has no grounding, has no content, and is not what Daniel Priestley would refer to as binge ready, if I see an advert for something, and I know that this is common of a lot of consumers, if I see that advert, I want to find out more about the business before there's a financial transaction. I want to go and look at them. I want to see what they're about, what are their principles, how often do they show up, are they accessible, what are they interested in? I want to know those things about the business. Now, depending what you're buying products and service wise, if you've seen an advert, how often would you see an advert and go straight to buy the product if you didn't know the brand? Therefore, you need to invest time into content marketing. That's showing up, writing blogs, creating podcasts, that's recording videos, it's going live, it's having a community that people can be a part of. I always talk about this. It is building ecosystems, solutions-based products and services within an ecosystem. An ecosystem is a place where people can come and belong to your community, your network, and they want to be there. They feel valued, they feel heard, they feel appreciated, and you have some solutions for them, which are your products and services. Once you have that ecosystem built, people can get involved, and they can also bring people into your ecosystem. For us, we have free social media training for business global as a community where we will never sell, but just keep people up to date with what's happening in social. We then also have loads of different stuff between content creation, mentoring, one-to-one strategies, one-to-one like ongoing mentorship and coaching. So we've got a wide range within our ecosystem, but you have to define your ecosystem around who you serve. Remember, it's all about the market. Everything you do needs to revolve around the market rather than revolving around yourself. Far too many business owners focus on themselves and they focus on their own business and what's in it for them, rather than the other way around. If you focus on what's in it for my customer, how can I help those people, and why would it be so valuable to them? When you focus that way around, everything changes. If this makes sense, drop some red, yellow, or orange emojis down in the comments, and let's get some interaction and some engagement in the comments so that I can see who's following along and what you guys think of what I'm sharing with you. Expanding your market is far easier once you start to pick up traction. Obviously, the more traction you have, the more trust equity you have with your customers, the easier it will be to get those referrals, recommendations, endorsements, reviews, testimonials. All of that comes as powerful tools to expand your market. A lot of people mistake expanding your market for diversifying your market. Diversifying your market, we're going to cover tomorrow at length, and we're going to look at why you might want to diversify, how to diversify, and how not to dilute what you currently do. Super, super important. Great to see so many red, yellow, and orange emojis coming in on Facebook. Come on, other platforms, you can up your game. You can drop some red, yellow, and orange emojis as well. But it's really important today that you understand about expanding your market. So basic principles of expanding your market are, if you have existing customers, encouraging them to be active advocates for your business and to talk to other people is one of the quickest, cheapest, and easiest ways to grow your business and expand your market. If you don't ask people to refer and to recommend you, then you're missing a massive amount of opportunity. You're missing a massive amount of sales, and you're leaving a huge amount of money on the table. So when did you last ask someone to refer you or to recommend you to someone else? At first, when you start doing it, might be a little bit uncomfortable, but trust me, it will be worth it. If you had just one customer and got them to introduce you to 3 people and each of them to introduce you to another 3 people, you would be giving yourself within 13 iterations to get to 1.5 million people from an individual customer. If you had 10 customers, imagine what that could look like. Yes, not everybody will convert, but yes, there is opportunity to connect to up to 1.5 million people in 13 iterations. So if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, or Instagram, I don't mind where you're tuning in or where you're watching. Get actively involved. Don't just participate. Don't just take away from these broadcasts, but give back to the community that provides the information and the knowledge to you. Get involved and share it with 3 people today. 3 people. 3 people, right? I want you to really understand that there's an importance in having a specific number, an easy and manageable number, and asking for 3 is based around the principle that I've just shared with you of getting to a larger number much quicker. 3 is specific. 3 allows you to pass 3 allows you to make it that people suddenly have their brain engaged, because they think, who are the 3 people most likely to find this useful? You could share this with any 3 people, but I don't want any 3 people. I want the next 3 people in your network that you think are most likely to find business advice 8 a.m. Monday through Saturday useful, and recommend them here. Share this broadcast with them. Tag them in the comments on the platforms where you can do that. Pass it on to them in their inbox, in Messenger, in WhatsApp, in text message, or just share it to your profile. Brilliant question over here. How do you share on Instagram? So right down at the bottom, there'll be a little, I think it's a paper aeroplane. I think it's what it's supposed to be, next to the comments. And if you hit that, it will give you the opportunity to share it, and you can then share it into people's inbox. Now, when you do, wherever you're sharing it, whether you're tagging people, whether you're sharing it on Instagram into their inbox as a DM, make sure that you just give a little bit of context to why. Nobody likes receiving just a link, right? Especially in a time where online fraud is at an all-time high. We need to be focusing on making sure that we're providing value when we share something. So yes, it's valuable. Part like that, and tell me if you can hear me again on Facebook. Give me one minute here. Sorry, Instagram, you're gonna have to hold tight. Apparently we've lost audio on Facebook, so we're just gonna check that we've got that. If you guys can hear me, let me know if we've got sound again. So Instagram still has sound, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Let me know if you've got sound. Again, obviously there's a slight delay. So let me know if we've still got sound over here. We should have come back. Guy Porteous, that's better. So we've got sound back. I need a yes, a very clear, definitive, we've got sound here on Facebook. Apologies for everyone on Instagram who has to sit through this occasionally. This is the nature of being on multiple tech, that it happens. Sound again, fantastic. Sorry if the sound quality is not quite as good. Apparently something's gone wrong with that mic this morning. So brilliant. We're just wrapping up and coming into land anyway. So thank you so much for hanging in there. Thank you guys on Instagram. Thank you, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube. You guys are all awesome, no matter where you're tuning in from. I appreciate all of you. So understand this, if you want to expand your market, the quickest and best way to do it is through active advocacy. The people that you're connected to who are in your business as customers, as supporters, as fans, as followers, if you build enough trust equity with them, you can then ask them to transfer their trust equity back to you, so they can introduce their friends, their network, their community. Let me know on Instagram how you got on with hitting that share button and putting it in someone's inbox. In fact, did you send it to 3 people? If you did, just drop the number 3 for me down on Instagram so I can see. So as you do this, you're going to build trust equity yourself with your community. Then when you move forwards, you're actually going to ask people to transfer their trust equity to you by introducing people to you, your business, your products, your services, your solution, your ecosystem, your broadcast, your content. You can do this in so many different ways. You really need to understand this. It's so much simpler than people make it. Active advocacy is easy as long as you've built enough trust equity. If you've built enough trust equity, then you need to also ask of people. People won't proactively go and do things generally unless they are told how to do it. If it's made easy for them, if you give very clear instructions and encourage people along the way, empowering them to bring you new business. As people bring people in to your network, your community, your ecosystem, you need to think about what products, services, and solutions have we got that serve these people best? How can we help them? And one of the things we're going to look at tomorrow is about diversifying your market. As you reach more people, as you start to connect to a bigger audience, the needs of those people are maybe going to be slightly different, and you might want to go down a different route. If you do, it's about diversifying your market. So how are we connecting to different people? How are we serving those people in different ways? Maybe the things that you do today won't be the things that you do tomorrow within your business. But today, it's all about expanding your market. And you can do that through active advocacy. You can do that through paid advertising. But like I was saying, paid advertising is only going to be impactful at the same level if you have content-driven marketing running alongside it. Content marketing can be completely free. You can just spend your time on it. So there is a time investment rather than a financial investment. But if you understand the principles behind content marketing, you will understand that everything you create is a digital asset. So it will allow you to create assets that can be used over and over and over again, whereas paid advertising is a one-time thing. The minute you turn the money off, the adverts turn off and you lose traction. Paid advertising should be like an accelerant on a fire. The content is your fire, so you set up that fire and you get people involved and you bring them together around that fire. And then what you can do is you can use an accelerant like Facebook advertising, Google AdWords, that kind of thing, to bring more people to that fire. So imagine building a massive campfire and putting an accelerant on it makes it a bigger fire and makes it burn stronger, and therefore you can bring more people to that place. So understand that advertising goes alongside content marketing. A lot of people make the mistake of replacing content marketing with paid advertising only. If I see an ad, very much like most consumers, I'm going to go and look at the company. If they're spending loads of money on nice swanky adverts, and then I go to look at their brand and they haven't posted, they haven't been active, they haven't been online for a long time, I'm going to question, what's this about? Why is there an ad running that's targeting me when they're not showing up for their community? Do I want to do business with someone like that? Now, it depends on the product and service you're buying as to how high you expect that level of connection to be, but there is always a requirement for you to be there and to be visible and showing up. I've definitely seen people advertise where they have absolutely no presence, and I can tell you, they will probably be hemorrhaging money as a business because people will go, oh, that sounds good, I'll go look them up. They look them up and can't find anything about them. Daniel Priestley calls it being binge ready. It's, have you got enough content out there that when I discover your business, whether it's through paid ads, a recommendation, a referral, a link, or maybe I just hear about it from someone, can I go and binge your content? Can I watch piece of content after piece of content, video after video, live after live, podcast after podcast, blog after blog? If not, why are you not binge ready? It's simply the fact that you're probably not putting in time and effort in the right place. It's not about putting more time and effort in. It's about being more effective, more efficient with your time to make sure that you're showing up. The more effective and efficient you are with your time, the easier it will be for you to show up and to help people. Back to the service element of what we're talking about with the marketplace. Guys, you have been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, for hanging in there as the audio cut out this morning. Thank you so much for hanging in there whilst we resolve that. Thank you, Instagram, for being so forgiving while you're waiting for the other platforms to catch up. But I really appreciate your time, effort, and attention on every single Breakfast and Business. Time is your most valuable asset, and I want you to use it effectively and efficiently. I'll try to give you as much scope of what we're going to talk about ahead of time as possible, so you can commit your time where it should be spent. It might be that this is the best use of your time. It might be that you maybe want to catch these later, or maybe that topic isn't specifically relevant to you. Every week we talk about a specific topic, and usually every day builds on the previous days. So therefore, watching a whole series in one go, being binge ready, so having a whole week where they follow each other, is going to help you. You can catch them on IGTV or back in their original places on YouTube, Periscope, and on Facebook. So you can find them all at ImTristanG across all the socials. Remember, you can connect with me after the broadcasts over on any of the platforms that you like to spend time on as ImTristanG. Please do connect with me, have a conversation, jump in my inbox. My door is always open to your questions, your comments, your feedback. If there's things you think we can do better, please do let us know. Obviously, other than the technical issues, if you think there's things that you'd like us to cover, then please do let us know. We've got some exciting stuff coming up around content marketing, as I've been talking about that a little bit today. Keep your eyes peeled for that. We are going to be scheduling these much further ahead so that you can pick and choose the ones that are relevant to you, get notifications on the different platforms, turn on reminders, stick it in your calendar so that you know it's coming up. And we can't wait to be helping you more every single day. And as we help you, all we ask is that you get involved, you actively participate, and then when the time feels right, please do pass it on to other people. We don't expect it all the time, but once we've built enough trust equity with you, we would ask that you pass this on. In fact, pass it on to 3 people and help us to accelerate the speed at which we get to help other people, because I selfishly want to help everyone. And It's Nomad 9 is doing this to help people who need the help, who are not in a position to get involved in any other ways. It's a way for us to create content, to connect with our audience, and to serve our community. You guys are amazing. We love you on all the communities, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Doesn't matter where you're watching, you're all important. Your time is your most valuable asset. And in mind of that, we're going to wrap up now for today's Breakfast and Business. But remember, there's one more Breakfast and Business in this series tomorrow, which is all about diversifying your market. So if you've ever wanted to look at new ways to go with your business, if you've ever wanted to look at new networks to connect with, or maybe even diversifying your products and services within that marketplace, we're going to have a talk all about that and deep dive that tomorrow at 8 a.m. UK time, right here where you're tuned in now. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram, all live tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to finish the series on your market. If you missed any of the previous broadcasts, don't forget to go back. Monday, we covered defining the market. Tuesday was who is your market. Wednesday was reaching your market. Thursday, serving your market. Super, super important. If you're not doing that, the other stuff won't work. Today, all about expanding your market. And then tomorrow, let's talk about diversifying your market, reaching new people in new ways. We're going to diversify, and we're going to talk all about that and deep dive that tomorrow at 8 a.m. live UK time across all these networks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you again for being so forgiving, so understanding, and so patient as we've had a few technical issues this week. Hopefully, we'll be back to normal again fully from next week. But you guys are incredible. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you for another Breakfast and Business very soon.